We downtown. We downtown by the river. I'm going to do a tarot reading on Amber Dawn Tarot after this. So if you're interested, I think I'm going to do it for the collective, see what Spirit has to say to us. But look at this. Beautiful downtown by the river. I know I don't come on often, but when I do, I'm here. There's a reason. So, I was listening to somebody earlier and they were talking about how, like, there's a lot of people that are having kind of issues, especially creators with large channels. They're having issues with they're feeling pressure to make everybody happy. And they're starting to realize that they can't make everybody happy. And they're feeling like, what the hell is the point of being here if I'm not making people happy? And so this is my reminder to people. I have a very small channel and it's beautiful and I love it. And I may not post very often because I get stuck in those situations as well, mentally, where it's like, what am I doing here? Why am I, look at that, how beautiful. Why am I doing this, basically? And I think a lot of us can relate to that. Why are we all here? What the hell are we doing? And when you're feeling like that, the best thing to do is take a step back and to feel your vibe. What's your vibe? Are you honestly a good person? Are you doing this stuff to please yourself, to help others, to please, cute dog? Are you doing all of this to please others, or are you doing this for the betterment of humanity? Because a lot of people just do things on social media just to get validation from other people. And validation's great. I mean, who doesn't want to be told they're awesome? Who doesn't want to be told they're amazing? Everybody pretty much wants to be told that. If you say you don't, you're probably lying to yourself. And I would suggest maybe going inward and maybe questioning yourself, like, okay, well, if I'm on this platform or if I'm on different platforms, what is the reason? Is it to really help people, or is it to just help your ego? And oftentimes my answer is to both, right? I want to help my ego and I want to help others, right? That's okay to admit. It's okay to admit, like, yeah, I have an ego and I want to be loved and I want to help people, you know? And a lot of people tend to focus on the things, on the negativity, on the negative comments. You know, that's why I have my comments on to the on. I have to accept the compliment or the compliments. I love compliments, but no, that's you have to. I like to just like go through my comments and erase them if they're negative, and I keep the nice ones because I'm not going to have some hater in my comments talking crap and all that stuff, because they don't know who I am. And when they're telling me I'm a piece of shit transsexual, which I'm not, I'm a full adult woman, who has periods every single fucking month and cramps and all of this other stuff and emotional turbulence. I am a woman, but I have some people being like, "You're a tranny, you're that," and I'm like, "Okay, like, what am I supposed to do? Argue?" Hey, Miss Peacock. Um, how do you argue with that? Like, I'm not going to show you my the JJ just to prove that I'm a woman, you know, and that can go with other aspects too. I'm not going to try and mentally build a castle like Gandhi did, um, just to convince you that I'm spiritual. You know, like, who are you for me to try and prove myself to you? It just how about you how about these haters prove themselves to themselves? Like, if you're hating on someone, why? What is it that triggers you about this person? You know, like, why? Because that clearly is there's a reason that you're being triggered. Hi, Josie. And so let me put this, let's see. See, I'll show you the river here if I can remember how to do it. Here, I'll just turn it around. So, I was listening to somebody earlier, and they were talking about how if you go onto somebody's channel and you don't know who they are, you don't know what they normally talk about, you don't know what trials and tribulations they've gone through, but you decide that it would be a good idea to talk shit to them because they said something you don't like. You're okay. Grab the rock. Come to me. You're okay. It'll slow down over there. Go over to him. Anyway, sorry. See, that's what love's about. You know, you gotta respect each other and be like, hey, like, you're gonna be okay. Like, raise each other up. Everything's gonna be okay. But okay, so what I was saying is, like, so somebody goes into somebody's chat. They've never seen them before. They don't know what they're about, and then they decide, I don't like what you're talking about, and I'm gonna talk shit to you. And it's like chapters. So if you didn't watch all the other chapters of this person's channel, then you're only seeing a very small part of this person's ideals in their life. And so you're not really getting the full picture of what they stand for. And maybe you do know their full picture and you still don't like them. That's perfectly cool too, you know? But trying to put yourself into other people's shoes is super important. Like, well, maybe this person is just upset because this is going on, and have compassion. Like, you don't know what's going on in people's lives. And so to jump into somebody's life at chapter 12 and you didn't hear 1 through 12, then you're just assuming something that may not be true. And who does that hurt? It hurts the person that's talking shit, and it also hurts the person who is putting out videos and trying to do better, and trying to help people. So you're hurting you and that person. And it's so pointless. It's instead of healing, you're hurting. So just putting yourself in other people's shoes and trying to understand, like, not everybody is the same, and it's okay to have differences. Like, especially in America, it's crazy. A lot of stuff, like, people are just confused. And I was talking to a friend earlier about how he was like, well, I don't believe in monogamy because I've been looking at a lot of studies I hope you guys can hear me okay. Um, but so my friend was saying, I've heard a lot of stories or studies where they're saying that monogamy just doesn't exist. And they just, yeah, that monogamy, and I also saw studies of that. I'm getting a little distracted, so just bear with me, you guys. Um, I've heard a lot of studies about that too in the past, and I fully believed that for a long time. And sometimes I still kind of go, yeah, it's pretty interesting. Monogamy, like it's just maybe it's not something that we're meant to be is monogamous. Okay, thank you, Mrs. Peacock. And so, but I've never cheated ever in my life. So for me, monogamy does exist, but for other people, they just don't know how to be monogamous. And one of the things, so we're being separated from each other, very much so, on every level, spiritually, religiously, um, genders, um, just so much confusion because a lot of truth is online and you can find so much truth, but but they also put a lot of lies out there too. And an example is here, let me she lost her shoe. I'm gonna like walk a little bit um so that I don't distract myself. I'm going to try to find somewhere else. So just give me a second. They're having fun though. So this over here, let me show you. That is a water slide. And you can jump down and slide down the water and woohoo, go all the way down. And there's more water slides down there. And then they just kind of keep continuing going down. So um, I know a lot of people are interested in when I talk about this kind of stuff, but I really don't care. Uh, Let me get out of here so I can find a spot where I'm literally right downtown, so I might have to walk down a little bit because there's a lot of people here. Even though there's really not that many people here, there's enough to be distracting. Okay, so my whole point to that with the monogamy thing was that this girl I saw, I think it's on TikTok. I don't have TikTok, but I watch YouTube videos where they review TikToks. And so I saw this one girl, and she went on somebody's channel and she looked at all the comments, and all the comments were like, yeah, men suck, men are horrible, fuck men, they're all cheaters, they're all pieces of shit, blah, blah, blah. And the girl was like, that's odd. Like, why are all these comments saying that? And so she had her boyfriend log in and go to the same channel and look at the comments. And his little feed said, oh, F women, women suck, women are users, women are cheaters. So that right there just proves that we're being mentally manipulated. This is mass mind control, folks. Mass mind control. Because we're people that we are beings that are hive minded. So if you're around a bunch of people, that's why I never was accepted into groups, because I'm not a hive mind person. If I see a bunch of people saying something, I usually go the opposite way. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are like that too. And so, but typically, And of course I'm guilty of being hive mind too. I mean, there's certain situations where I'm like, yeah, this is how, but typically I always look a little sideways, like, what is this? I don't trust this. Why are you guys all believing the same thing? So this is just an example of how social media brainwashes all of us. It's called mass mind control. Because if you look in comments and you see the girl, all her comments in there saying F men and all that, but then the man logs in and goes to the same comments and it says F women, then clearly there's an agenda here. And that's going to go for all countries, all races, all sex identifying people, sexualities, all of that. And so be very aware that this stuff is being done by a computer. It's kind of disturbing if you think about it. Okay, so there's a woman, an elder woman walking, so I'm going to give her space. But yes, be very aware that a lot of these comments are just bots. They're just bots. They're just here to program our minds into believing things that aren't really real. Because I don't know about you, but when I go to grocery stores or I go to the lake or the river, it's very, very rare that people are going to come at me and tell me that I'm racist or I'm a tranny or I'm sexist or whatever labels they like to put. They don't do that in real life, but online you tend to see that a lot, right? So I would just be very cautious of what you watch and what you allow in. So you can read stuff and be like, oh, this girl says this guy is a piece of crap. Okay, but you don't have to attach yourself to it. And that's kind of the whole point of meditating is not attaching yourself to your mind, to what your mind says. Because our mind says a lot of crazy shit. Like, here's an example, and it's kind of messed up, but it is what it is my grandpa is not doing very well right now, right? And something in my mind keeps going, well, maybe you'll get an inheritance. And the first thing I do is go, no, I'd rather have my grandpa, And it's not about feeling bad for that thought or attaching to that thought. It's about recognizing the thought and going, yeah, that was kind of messed up. I don't truly believe that. I'm just going to let that go. And that goes with a lot of things. Like, you don't have to attach yourselves to all of these negative thoughts that we think, because no matter who you are, what you think, we all have those negative thoughts. And it's important to just disattach from them and realize that we are connected to the Akashic records and everything exists at the same time. And it all is real, all at the same time. And so we can pick and choose what we decide to feel and think. We don't have to be like, oh, this is it because this is what's in my vision. That's not, we don't have to do that. We can go, oh, that was kind of a messed up thought. I don't want to think that. I don't believe that. And I'm going to move on. And that's it. And that's how you train your brain, But yeah, just be aware that there's a lot of manipulative things going on. And we're in such a virtual reality, if you will, as far as always being on camera or watching videos or looking at the internet and trying to find news, even TV, there's all these subliminal messages. So just being aware that, it's not real. This is all manufactured to get us to fight with each other. And when we grasp onto that thought of this is real, that's when chaos starts to happen, I've been listening to a lot of tarot readings lately because I don't do tarot readings for myself. I feel like there's too much bias when it comes to me doing my own tarot reading. So I only do tarot readings for other people. But when you start to listen to too many tarot readings, which is why I don't do them all the time, like there's some creators that will do a Gemini, because I'm a Gemini. There's some tarot readings that will do Gemini 5 times a day. Every day they'll do a reading for Gemini. And I'm like, what are you like? Why would what? So I isn't that brainwashing? Like if you're doing the same reading for somebody over and over and over again, you're trying to convince them that their life sucks and the people that they're around shouldn't be trusted. Eventually, you're going to start getting that into your brain and you're going to manifest that, right? So, hell yeah, Josie. So, I guess the biggest thing that I'm trying to say is just be very aware of what you're watching and do not. I mean, of course, look for signs and symbols. Like that's what we all need to do is look for the signs because we are being talked to. Um, but when you start to take advantage of things like readings, tarot readings or something, then you start to get confused because it's not meant to be listened to all day, every day. And then you start to get confused and you don't know what is real and what's not, you know? Just put the pieces together and try to decipher what is real and what is true for you and leave the rest. And also be honest with yourselves as far as, is this really true for me, or am I just assuming something, or am I just looking for the answers that I want, you know? Because a lot of times you'll look at titles of videos and you'll go, oh, that fits what I'm in right now. But at the same time, it does fit what you're in right now, but it's not necessarily telling you what is real. It's just telling what you want to hear, right? Sleep on shit. So yeah, so I don't know. I just thought I'd come on and kind of say hello and do a quick video by the river, and I'm gonna go do a tarot reading for the collective. I'm not sure where. It's gonna be by the river, but I'm not sure where. I think I'm gonna move to a different area. Maybe next to a table or something. But anyway, so go to Amber Dawn Tarot if you're interested in the collective reading. And I appreciate you guys for chilling with me and listening to me rant a little bit. You know, I just know that a lot of people are going through a lot of stuff right now, and I just want to let you guys know that you're not alone. We're all going through transitions right now. This is powerful and it's exciting. And try to look at it as like, this is exciting, that we're transforming, we're energetically growing and tuning in to what we are. And we could all be 100% different than each other. But I think the main goal for us as spiritually awakened humans is to know that it's okay for all of us to be different. It's okay for all of us to react differently. The biggest thing is to be here for each other and to recognize the similarities within each other. Like, yeah, I might not be going through the trauma you're going through now, but I have once in the past and I understand. Instead of judging and being an asshole, just understand. Okay, I get it. Can I give you some advice? No? Okay. Okay. You know, and sometimes we have to let people go because they want to be stuck. And that's okay too, you know? But just navigating through this chaos and doing it as gracefully as you can. Sometimes we're not very graceful at all in this life. and we all make mistakes, and forgiveness is huge. But also recognizing that some people just aren't going to change, and maybe it's time to let them go. That's huge too. So just being very aware of how you react to certain situations, what you've been through, how can you connect to other beings here? How can you do better? That's all you can do. It's all a learning lesson. So, yeah, Amber Dawn Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot reading here shortly when I find my next position. And I appreciate you guys. I hope you all are doing well. Much love. Mwah. Peace.